Okay, so Grandma, I had asked you, how did you prepare your children for military life?
Well, like I said, he went in the military right after Ron was born.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been in the military. Like I said, Gwen was my second child, and the doctor had told me she would be born on the 23rd of April. Well, he was already in the military and I had his basic training and everything. And the doctor said Gwen was going to be born on the 23rd of April. So he was on the ship going to Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote him a letter and told him she was going to be born the 23rd of April. So he wrote me back and repeated what I said. And I said, yes, she was born on the 23rd of April. That was Gwen, my second child. And so he was wounded in Seoul, Korea. As soon as he got over there, sent him up to the front line fighting. He stayed over there a month in the hospital, and they sent him back here at Fort Gordon. He stayed out there in the hospital 6 months from his wounds. Because one went right up over his heart, and the operating took it out of his arm. He sent it home. I still had that bullet.
Really?
I still got it, the Purple Heart. He sent him a Purple Heart with that. He said the bullet home would come out from his arm. And the other bullet went through the right arm, all the way through and come out. But it didn't even break a bone.
Wow.
Yeah, and that other went right up over his chest, but it didn't hit his heart. But they operated on it and took it out. But anyway.
Was he in any other wars?
Not. He went back to Korea again, but they wasn't fighting over it. He was in Seoul, Korea. When he got wounded. The first time he went to Korea. The second time, I think it was peacetime. The second time he went. And then he went to Germany 3 times. We went 2 times. But they wasn't fighting in Germany.
Front door opened. Front door
went
closed.
2 tours in Germany. I got to travel all over Germany. Worked in the PX and the commissary. I went to London, England, and Paris, France. Saw the Albert Tower, saw where Queen Elizabeth lived, with the changing of the guards and all that stuff you saw when she died the other day. Queen Elizabeth and all them places. I've been all over there. I got placemats for the dinner table. Got those. I can't call them the name of them places over there in England.
Yeah, all over Europe.
Yeah. Or we went. NCOIs would go somewhere in Germany. Like a weekend, you go somewhere in Germany, some part of Germany. But then we went to Paris, France for a weekend. Went to London, England, spent a weekend. And you get to travel around. They have buses take you all around and see all them beautiful places and all that tapestry and marble and all kind of beautiful draperies and beds and spreads and furniture and all kind of beautiful stuff, marbles, all kind of marble. And I guess they must have been some real rich people that lived over there back then. It was a beautiful thing to see over there. A lot of stuff to see.
Did you and Granddaddy talk to your children about politics?
Too much, because we talked about it, but it wasn't a lot, because at least I didn't know a lot about politics long and then. But we got married young. He probably knew more about it by being in the army than I did. Because I was in the army, just was in the army because I was traveling around with him. But a lot of stuff I didn't understand. He probably understood a lot about it because he was in the military and traveling. And
Do you remember ever experiencing racism as a kid or an adult?
Oh, I experienced racism from a child before I knew him. I guess he did too. So like I say, when we went to school, walking to school, they had the white children ride the bus and the black children walking. And when we go to the bathroom, anywhere out, they had black and they had colors and white on the restroom. So you knew to go in the one say colors, not go in the one say white. And they had drugstores in Statesboro, where our home. one particular drugstore, you couldn't go in the front door. The black people had to go down to the back.
Right.
Call it the college pharmacy. I used to like to go there and get me a cherry coke, but you had to go in the back to get it. You couldn't go in the front door like the white people. There's a lot of segregation.
Did you ever know anybody to get lynched?
No, yeah, Mega Evans and all them.
I mean, like
Way back.
personal, like a friend or somebody like that.
No, nobody that I knew personally, but like way back long there, well, you done read about Martin Luther King and them, how they did him and other people way back there before him,
Mm-hmm.
Mega Evans and so many more. You read about them. But yeah, they had that black and white on those toilets and fountains, water fountains where you go drink water.
Mm-hmm.
You know not to go down and say white and colored over there on that one. Yeah. And then at the back, John had done went to Korea and come back. And we were going to Statesboro one Saturday or Friday or whatever day. And right out there on Peach Orchard Road, him and I guess it was about, must have had about 4 children then. And we stopped there. It's right over there, not too far down Peach Orchard Road. We stopped to a place to get something to eat. Me and him and the children. And he went to the front door and they told him to go in the back. And he had done been to Korea and got wounded. He came right on back to the car. He said, I done been over there and almost got killed in Korea and come back here at home and they telling me to go to the back. So he came on back to the car and we went on down the road. I guess we stopped somewhere else later, but anyway. Yeah, it was real segregated. Segregated. And some places still act like they don't want to serve black people. It ain't, it's better. But some places, they look like they still want to have white only on there. Mm-hmm. That's what they used to have on the sign. White only, or either colored.
Yeah.
Colored on there. You might not seen it. You probably read about it.
What's the most difficult thing you have overcome?
Mm. I know it's a lot of things I don't overcome. Well, it has got better as I look back. Way back then, how things was. It's not all the way better, but it's much better than what it used to be. The times are.
Yeah.
But some places, you can feel it. Some places, because some people still act the same. Act like you're not good as them. Or like you, I can't put it together, but anyway.
Yeah.
You can feel it. They feel like, well, you're not good as them, but I always act like and went just like I felt like I was just as good as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I still feel like that. But anyway.
How do you overcome, like, disappointments?
Well, you have to pray. Pray about it and ask the Lord to help me to overcome different things, difficulties, and times when you seem like you can't see your way. You just have to pray and stay in prayer. Ask the Lord to help you. But things had got better. A lot of things has got much better than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was worse than that before I was a child, before I was born. Like probably when my parents came along,
Yeah.
it was worse than it was when I came along. And since you come along, it's better for you than it was when your parents came along.
Right.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
So I'm going to a lighter subject. Who taught you how to drive?
Oh, my dad taught me how to drive, and my husband taught me how to drive. But really, They used to let me guide it, you know. But I was sitting on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But after I got married, John helped me. He helped me. He taught me how to drive too. But then I just took the car one day and went by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And from then on, I had been going by myself. But he had taught me, and my daddy had taught me too. But they used to let me guide the steering wheel. You know, he'd be sitting on the steering wheel, but he'd let me, you know, learn how to guide it. You know. But then one day, after me and John had been married, he had been teaching me. But then me and him I just took the car one day and went on. You know, because I thought I had learned enough to know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. From then on, I was driving by myself. But he taught me, my dad taught me.
What was your excuse me, what was your favorite TV show growing up?
Oh. Oh. I forgot what that we used to look at. Oh my goodness. I love Lucy and that other little girl. I used to like her.
Shirley Temple?
Shirley Temple. Yeah, that was a little girl I liked. I used to like to look at Shirley Temple and then I love Lucy, whatever her name got.
Mm-hmm.
Inez or something.
Ricky Ricardo?
Yeah, Ricky Ricardo.
What's your favorite show now?
Oh. Let me see. I like Steve Harvey and I like those Janet, what them shows come on? Janet.
Ma'am?
What them shows come on? Steve Harvey and who was that we like to look at? That other guy. What that-
Judd Mathis?
Yeah, Judge Mathis and what that other black guy name? What got them funny things?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
You like anything that was Tyler Perry?
Yeah, I like Tyler Perry.
His movies.
Mm-hmm.
I like Steve
I'm not
Steve.
supposed to be on it though.
Steve Harvey. Yeah, you just make me remember
She likes
Steve Harvey.
some of his shows. Tyler Perry's movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
What makes you laugh out loud? So I guess Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Feud, the game show,
I look at that a little
and
bit.
Tyler Perry movies and shows.
Yeah, he'd be a funny Tyler Perry. And Steve is too.
What was your favorite kind of music growing up?
Now talking about them other shows, I like a lot of those soaps, because I used to, when we lived in Columbus, Georgia, we had to build a new home and moved in our new house in Columbus, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I think Paul was a baby. He was born when we moved in the new house up in Columbus, Georgia. And I used to start looking at the soap, and I used to like to look at the soaps. And I would start looking at them when I wasn't working. I think was it Guiding Light, Search for Tomorrow, and The Edge of Night. Way back there, that's before you were born. But I used to I would look at them when I wasn't working. I think they started coming on about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I think the last one, The Edge of Night, would go up about 4 o'clock or 4:30. And if I was down there, our house had a little hallway in it. And the bedroom was down that way. Children had twin beds in that room. And I had the attic board right there in the hallway where I could look down at the TV, because I just had one TV. And I think them stories started coming on at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I would look at them till, I think the last one go off at 4 or 4:30 in the evening. But whatever work I was doing, ironing or cleaning or whatever, I'd be where I could keep up with them stories. Edge of Night, Search for Tomorrow, As the World Turned. I know you probably don't know them.
Yeah, I know. I heard of all of them and saw them.
Yeah,
years
they
ago.
old.
Mm-hmm.
But they were good then, because like when I was home working, and one of them I watched when I was overseas, because they didn't show them, but I couldn't get them over there. But I think that, and I used to, General Hospital, I believe it was one or two I could get in Germany. And I would look at them when I wasn't working. Because I worked in went to see both times. We was over there in the PX to the commissary. And I had a German maid. I guess I told you about that. With Joyce and Janice, because they were born in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
The white German lady kept them while I worked. And she was crazy. I let her bathe them and feed them. But I did the cooking. When she cleaned, they be getting on the floor, scrubbing your floor, with the towel.
Mm-hmm.
They clean your floor and everything, dusting, wash their clothes, and get on their bath and feed them. My German maid. And she would bring her little boy. We'd work with her sometime. But the second time we went back to Germany, we went down the Karlsruhe to visit them. And then we had them to come up to where we were living the last time. We went over there to visit us, had them for dinner. She said she always wanted to come to America. Her and her husband and the little boys came and visited us. We went to visit them. Yeah.
What kind of music did you like growing up?
Oh, I like just regular music, like young people. So we used to dance, go to the club and dance and enjoy. Most of the music, black people like.
Like James Brown or?
Yeah, I like some of his music. And I had all kind of records. I can't even think of all of them because I ain't been playing them so long. The other guy that's a lot of, I can't think of all of them, baby. I probably got some records at the house now.
And what kind of music do you like now?
I like gospels, spirituals, and I listen to what they call it, hip hop or something. I listen to that sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever come on, listen. I like gospels and spirituals.
What motivates you?
Well, preaching, teaching, singing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the gospel.
What makes you happy?
Working with people and doing something for people, helping people.
Did you always want 6 kids?
Well, I don't know if I wanted that many, but I guess I didn't do nothing to try not to have them. After I got them, I was proud of them. I was glad to have them.
If you could have had more, would you?
One thing, what I regret, and I guess I shouldn't regret it because they say, what's for you, you're going to get it or it's going to be that way. What's to be going to be. One thing I really regret is my parents wanted me to go to school and go to college and finish college. And I didn't do it. And I regret it. But then when I think back over it, I said maybe it wasn't for me to be. It must have was to be married and have these children. But I had a good husband and had a good life together and got to travel and see a lot of the world, which I might wouldn't have got to see or do if I'd have went to college and finished college, So then you have to look at it 2 ways. I had to say, what's the be gonna be? And you look at it and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't fulfill all of my dreams of what my parents wanted me to do. But they still love me and helped me and didn't put me down because I didn't. But then after I got older, I still went back and tried to get some of it, but I didn't get it all. Still ain't got it all. I guess you never will get everything what you wanted to do. But I just thank God for what it is. Because it could have been worse. I thank God for my family, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grands and step-grands and all of my in-laws. And I just thank God. Out of all of that, it's still been a good life. I've had a good life, had good parents, good relatives and friends, and had a good life.
What would you like your tombstone to read?
Mm. The Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid? For God has been good to me. And I thank him. Thank him for everything. I need to say it that way, but something in that form.
Mm-hmm. If you could choose one word to describe yourself, what would it be?
Well, like I say, when I look at it one way, and then I look at it another way, I think about if I had finished school when I was supposed to finish, and went to college and did all whatever the Lord had for me to do, I might wouldn't have my children, grandchildren. And if I went on to school and might have been a teacher or a psychologist or something big, you know, then I might have still been out there by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have had a good life as I had with having the children and a husband and all that. Because I got a cousin down there in Statesburg, you probably know you met her.
Mm-hmm.
She just from she's July to December older than me, about 5 months older than me. And she never been married, don't have any children. And all her brothers and sisters dead but one. About 8 of them. And she got one brother, her baby brother, live up there in some part of Carolina. And the rest of her sisters and brothers are dead. But she never been married, never had no children.
Did she want to have children?
I don't know, because she taught school and she's a beautician. And she just 5 months older than me. But then I think about, well, I got children and grandchildren, and been married and traveled all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she traveled nowhere other than like New York or Philadelphia, somewhere like that, and all over Georgia and other places. But then I said, she don't have no children, she don't have hadn't had no husband. And now all her sisters and brothers gone. But she had a good education, and she's a beautician too.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at things one way and you say, well, you did this and you had that. She had education and all that. But she didn't have these other things that you had. She didn't have no husband, she didn't have no children. She didn't get to travel overseas 2 or 3 times. And so you just you got to look at it 2 ways.
Mm-hmm.
You see, well, you could have been like that. I could not, never married, never had no children, never got to travel overseas and all that stuff and get to see the world 2 different times. So that some say it's all good.
Yeah.
It ain't all bad.
Yeah.
It's so good in all of it. So I just thank the Lord for what it is. It wasn't that bad. It was bad, and it hurt me too, because I didn't finish school when my parents wanted me to, and was so willing to help me to go to college and do anything I wanted to do. And I feel like I failed them, because I got pregnant and got married. But they didn't put me down and make me feel bad about it. They love me, and they love my husband, and love my children. And they did everything they could for me. So all I can say, thank you, Jesus, because it always could have been worse. So, let's see.
On a different note, is there any food or dish you can't make that you want to learn to make?
Oh, I'm sure there's something I would like to make that I can't make or haven't tried to make. But all I got to do is look in a cookbook or something and find it and try it out. But, excuse me, I'm so full. Let's see.
What's your favorite color?
Oh. I like pink and blue, lavender,
Mm-hmm.
or purple. But I like green. I just like colors.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I had no one special color. But I like 2 or 3 colors. Pink and blue. I think I used to buy Joyce and Janice. I think I bought them that light green and yellow and pink and blue. Somebody was, I forget who that was, a long time ago. They were little. They said, I buy them, like that was all I had bought them, pink and blue, or that yellow and green. It's a pretty light green, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a maze. Yellow was a pretty color. I was looking at that flower over there. Serene gave me one like that. I think Gwen must have got that one from Serene's little girl when she had her graduation or something. That big yellow flower on top of her China closet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got one in the living room like that. I think it came from Serene. She had her little girl. You know, her little girl is special. She had I don't know if her little graduation or what. But
Mm-hmm.
she gave everybody a big flower like that. I think I got one in the living room like that. Came from Serene. You know, Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. She raised a little, I think it's her sister's little girl. She kind of special. But she went to school and graduated, and she had her big party out down on that road with that, I can't call the place. We've been up there to eat. And she gave everybody a big flower like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you wish for your children and grandchildren?
I wish they'd be a Christian. I pray that they would get a good education
Mm-hmm.
and marry somebody that's nice to them, take care of them. Pray that they would be a Christian and that we can all go to heaven, meet together
Mm-hmm.
in heaven, and be together forever and ever.
Are you afraid of death?
Not really, since I've grown. I used to be afraid. I really used to be afraid of dead people. I'm still not that. But I used to be, when I was a little girl growing up, and Mama would tell me to go up in the attic before we got electric lights, which you have a lamp, kerosene lamp, but we got electric lights later out in the country. And Mama said, go up in the front bedroom or in the living room and get such and such a thing. And I'd go in there feeling like this, have my eyes closed. I was so scared of the dark. And I was really scared of dead people. Oh, when somebody died that I knew, oh God, I couldn't sleep for weeks.
Mm.
Like, I just be so scared. But it don't bother me like that now. But, oh Lord, I was too scared. I prayed, asked the Lord, don't let me be scared. And they used to have a thing they called setting up. Like, they bring the body back home to stay that last night at home.
Mm.
And they called it setting up. And they had a body in the living room or whatever room they had it in a room. And they have a thin curtain over the body. And all night people be coming in looking at the body or sitting up talking around. And
Oh, it's kind of like a wake, but it was at
yeah,
your
that's
house.
what they called a wake. It was a wake. What they used to say, sitting up. They called it sitting up. So they sit up all night with that body.
Oh.
And then we would walk with, Dad always had a truck or a car, but we lived like with somebody in the community. We might live far from here to, down the road there, like where we, instead of going to Fort Gordon and go that way, they go the back way.
Yeah.
We might have to walk that far from where we live to the person who had died. And we were, Mama and Dad and whoever else was living up, they go, because going to such and such a one setting up tonight. And we be walking in the dark coming back home. I had my eyes closed walking. I was so afraid. I just had my eyes closed walking in the dark. And then I get home and Mom said, go in the living room or go in the front bedroom and get me such and such a thing. Ooh, I was so scared I'd go up there feeling flat in the dark with my eyes closed. I was so scared. Oh, Jesus. But I pray and ask the Lord don't let me be afraid like that. Because I didn't want to be like that when John died. Because I said, if I'd be like that, I couldn't have drove the car. I couldn't have stayed to the house by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pray and ask the Lord, please don't let me be afraid when he died. Because I got to be in this house. And I can stay there by myself now. I had to pray hard.